you to relocate to Canada, the most important decision you need to make is what province would I like to relocate to? And today we are going to focus on Saskatchewan. Yes, remember on our community page, I stated that I was going to talk about different provinces in Canada, how to relocate to this province. I'll talk about the different programs this province have, and today is the day of Saskatchewan. And that reminds me, if you haven't subscribed to our channel or joined our family, please do not hesitate to do so that you won't miss out of this information, because we are going to start now and we are going to gradually grow into other provinces. Yeah, so this particular program allows you to move to Saskatchewan, which is a province in Canada, without any job offer. Remember that different provinces in Canada have different program, have their different pathway. So this pathway in Saskatchewan does not mean that it is the same pathway with other provinces in Canada. Now someone will ask me, how can I move to Canada? For you to move to Canada, you are either moving through express entry or you're moving through provincial nominee program, and this one I'm talking about today fall under provincial nominee program. Yeah, my name is Stella, and in this channel we talk about relocation, we talk about moving abroad, UK and different countries. We talk about whether you're moving for your study, you're moving for work, and other opportunities that we find in these different countries. Stay tuned to our channel because it is the best channel you can ever encounter. Now let's get started. Welcome back, guys. So this particular program is called what? Saskatchewan Occupation in Demand. Yes, this particular pathway enables you to come to Canada without any job. You know, some other pathway involves that you have to apply for job, and then when you get the job, then you can come to Canada. With this one, you don't need to bother yourself about going to look for job or anything. No, you just need to apply. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how we are going to talk about this process. So first, we are going to talk about the eligibility. After the eligibility, we'll talk about the documents you need to get. Then after we've talked about that, we'll talk about the steps and then the financial implication. So what are the eligibility? Number one eligibility is that you must be living outside Canada. Number two eligibility is that you must not be a refugee claimant. Number three is that you must have post-secondary school education. It could be a vocational training in a skill that you are good in or the one that you are currently doing. It could be a university education, it could be polytechnic, it could be PhD, but you must have a post-secondary school training. Number three is that you must have experience in the field that you are currently working in, and that particular skill or the field that you're working in must be under the occupation in demand list. So it's not any job that they are accepting. I'm going to drop all the links in the description so you guys can click on it. So when you see that it's stated jobs listed on occupation in demand, you just click on it and you see the different lists. So if your job is there, you know that you fall under this category and you can just apply, and then you'll be able to move to Canada using this process. Then the next one is that you must have settlement fund. I'm also going to drop the link of the settlement fund on the description, so you will go and check how much the government of Canada expects you to have for you to use this process to come to Canada. Now remember that I said that you must have experience in your field. Now that type of experience must be the one that you are working in that field for a minimum of 30 hours per week. A minimum of what? 30 hours per week. So if you are working, let's say you are working as an engineer or as a teacher, and then you are working, let's say, every day, and let's say you spend like 8 hours at work. If you multiply 8 hours by 5, that gives it 40 hours. So it means you are automatically qualified to use this process because you are working more than 30 hours per week. Then the next eligibility is that you must have up to 60 points. So there's something that is called the Canadian Grade Assessment points. I'm also going to drop the link in the description, but I'm going to explain a bit, so permit me. So the Canadian 60 points states that for someone that wants to come to Canada, they assess different things. One of the things they assess is, number one, your education and training. So if you are someone that has a master's degree, you get 23 points. If you're someone that has a bachelor's degree, you get 20 points. If you're someone that just has a trade, maybe you did not go to school, but you have a trade degree, a trade certificate in your skill, you will get about 20 points. Then the next thing they assess is your skilled work experience. So if you have worked for more than 5 years, you are going to have higher points. If you have worked for lesser than 5 years, you have lower points. So everything is written there. So just click on the link and you'll be directed to what this grade scale is all about. Then the next thing is they look at your age. If you are less than 18 years, if you are 18 to 21 years, you get 8 points, 22 to 34 years, you get 12 points, and so on. So that is the grading scale. Then apart from the age, they look at if you have connection to Saskatchewan. So if your family member lives in Saskatchewan, you also get a point for that. All right. Now they also have other points too, which that is if you have ever worked in Saskatchewan before. Let's say you came there on a student visa, you did field study, and then you were also doing some type of work and you went back home, you also have a point. And if you were a student, you have a point. So you guys, make sure you go through that link so that you can check and see how many points you can get. Now if you get up to 60 points, and it automatically means that you are eligible for this particular pathway. Now let's recap. What did I say the eligibility is? Number one, you must be an immigrant or living outside Canada. You must not be a refugee claimant. Number three, you must get up to 60 points. Number four, you must have a post-secondary school education in the field or the skill that you want to come into Canada with. Number five, you must have experience in your field. Very important. And then number six, you must have these forms. Now that is for the eligibility. Now, what are the documents required for you to use this process to come to Canada? So one of the documents they require for you to use this process is your proof of identity. Like I always tell people, you need to get your international passport, your birth certificate, and all that certificate that will prove your identity. If your country has national identification number, you should get that as well. But one of the most important identity documents is your international passport. So if you don't have it, go ahead and get it. Number two document that we need is your education certificate. Remember you said you have training in this field, you've gone some education in the particular skill that you are bringing into Canada. So they want to see a proof that yes, you really have this training. So even if you learn a trade and you have a certificate to prove that you had that trade, definitely you submit it, and that will be a proof of your training. If you studied in a university, you submit your certificate, you submit your transcripts, so that they will see that yes, you are really what you say you are. Then the next identity document is that you must have a professional certificate if applicable. So if your profession is the one that needs a particular certificate or needs a particular license or that, you must get that. But if your profession do not fall under that category, do not bother. For teachers, now teachers has a license. So if you want to come, you need to get that teaching license or qualification to show them that yes, you are actually trained in that field. So those are those sort of people that need those professional certificates. But if you do not fall into this category that needs professional certificate, don't bother yourself to go and get this particular document. Next is that you need to have proof of English language, and there are several tests that they have. So they want you to meet a minimum of CLB4 or let's say IELTS 5. So that's not really high. It's something that anybody can actually get. So just go ahead, write your IELTS and use it to come down to Canada. So those are the documents that they need for you to process this Saskatchewan occupation in demand. Now, what are the steps? Like, how will I, if I'm a novice, I want to apply for this process, How will I? I'm going to be showing you the steps on how you can go through this process and then apply for Saskatchewan. So ensure that you listen to this video. So what are the steps? The steps in applying for what? Occupation in Demand program. So number one step is that you create an expression of interest account. For you to create that expression of interest account, you have to ensure that you are not creating more than one. It's just one you are creating. If not, it could make you disqualified. Okay, so you have to decide, are you going to create an account using the express entry, or are you going to create an account using the occupation in demand portal? So ensure that you are creating one using the occupation in demand portal. You do not need to create an express entry account for this process. Okay,
Guys, I'm going to be showing you how to create an expression of interest under Saskatchewan program. So what you do is, on this their portal, I'm going to be dropping the link in the description. You go down to when they say create an expression of interest. Okay, so you create an expression of interest here. Once you've clicked on it, you see they say create an account. So you try to create an account with them, and they will tell you select a registration type, entrepreneur applicant, before March 23. They have the simp applicant, or expression of interest as candidate, or are you an employer or are you a recruiter. So the one you'll be putting is the simp pass applicant, or expression of interest applicant. Then you continue. So after you've done that, you scroll down to where they tell you to create a username. You put your first name, you put your middle name, your family name there. Please ensure that the name you are putting is the one that is on your international passport. You put your date of birth and you put your email address. So those are the things you are going to use to create the account. After you've put all these details and submitted, they'll send you a link which you use to confirm, and that's how you're going to log into your account. So guys, once you've confirmed the link, they will send you a password as well, which you have to change onto a new password. So guys, once you have logged in, this is what you are going to see. Please click here to begin, view personal information disclosure, and change password if you want to. So for you to begin, you will click on this click here to begin, and we're going to let it load. All right, so once you've successfully logged in, you will see that they will tell you to fill details here. You fill the details here, you fill all these details, then you scroll down, ensure that you're filling everything correctly. You feel I'm a skilled worker who wants to live in Saskatchewan and all that. You fill all these details. They'll ask you, do you have a representative that will conduct business on your behalf? You click no and all that. So you ensure that once you have filled all these details, you click on save. Okay, the moment you have filled all your details and you have saved it using that save button here, you will see the section that says continue to the next section. So you will click on it so you can be able to go to the next section. So the next section, they will ask you, do you have any job offer? You click on no, because you're on nominee occupational demands. You don't necessarily need to have a job offer. So you click on save anyway. You can always go back later because to adjust anything that you've done. And they will ask you, have you been accepted in the immigration citizenship Canada Express Entry Pro? You don't necessarily need to be in the Express Entry Pro like I explained before. So you click on, please select your intended occupation. So depending on your occupation you select, you ensure that the occupation that you are picking or the occupation that you are coming in is the one that is accepted under occupation in demand. If your occupation is not among those that are listed under those occupation in demand, you might not be accepted. Then they'll tell you, please check if your occupation is regulated or requires professional certification by checking the occupation in demand and express entry occupation requirements. So you can go ahead and check through that. Then they'll say, have you completed a post-secondary school education? If you have, remember that's part of the requirements. So you click yes. Then they'll ask you the next question, is your degree occupation related to the occupation you have chosen? So you click on yes. Remember, it must be related to the occupation that you have chosen. Then once you have clicked on all this, you next thing you click on next, and guys, that's how you will keep filling in your details until you have finally completed the whole requirement. Then they will tell you to determine category. Okay, so they'll give you like a summary now. So based on your saved responses, you will be applying under the following category: international skilled workers, occupation in demand. Make sure that this is what you are applying under. Remember that you need to ensure that everything you are filling here is very correct, and so you will click on yes if this is correct, and then they'll ask you your next question. They'll give you a few response. So guys, for the sake of the length of this video, I'll be stopping now. All right, I'm stopping now so that you guys can be able to continue the process. I don't want the video to be too long. It's very explanatory, so you just need to go through the process. It's self-explanatory. Thank you so much. Okay.
Now, once you have created this account, the next thing you are going to do is that you are going to scan and upload all your original documents. Yes, all your identity documents, your proof of IELTS. So that means that you need to have passed your IELTS. Remember, in Express Company, we help you to prepare for IELTS. We train you, and it's online from the comfort of your home. You can be trained on IELTS, and we've had so many testimonies. So if you know that you are struggling in passing IELTS, email us at expressglobalservices0@gmail.com or expressinfo.booking.pay@gmail.com, and we will send you to where you are going to apply and be trained for your IELTS, and then you pass your exam. So once you have uploaded all your documents on the portal, you then submit. It's not a must that you have to upload everything at the same time. You can save and come back later to submit it. Okay, now once you have submitted your documents, they will then access it and see if you meet their criteria. Once they have seen that you meet their criteria, they will then send you an email and give you a go ahead to go and apply to the government for a visa. Okay, now once you want to go and apply for the government for the visa, you have to pay an application fee, and that's where we are going to be moving forward to what are the financial requirements. So the financial implication or the financial responsibility you need to get ready for when you want to use this process is that you are going to pay, number one, 350 Canadian dollars non-refundable money for an application fee. So when you are applying and they're giving you a go ahead to go and apply for the immigration and all that, you have to pay 350 Canadian dollars. So once you have done that, the next possible money you have to consider into putting into your account is the money for your proof of fund or your settlement form. I'm going to put the link in the description for you. You should look at and see the amount of money. I think it's up to 10,000 Canadian dollars that they expect you to have in your account, and depending on the number of family you have, so let's say you have more children, let's say you have 3 to 5 children or so, you have to put more money into the account so that Canadian government can see that yes, you are able to care for yourself when you come to Canada. Not only do you have to have the money in your account, you must have that money till you get to Canada. They want to see the proof of statement till the moment you leave the country that yes, this money is in your account when you are doing your application. Because even when you get down there to Canada, when you are going through the immigration process, they will also have to look at it to be sure that there's no fraud or anything. And then also money for, let's say, your international passport or your police check, your police report and all that, and other minor things you have to pay for. Let's say when you want to do your health check as well, there's a certain amount of money you pay in your country based on the country you are from. Those are the financial implications. So guys, as you can see, it's not that much. Once you're able to pass through all this process, you're ready to come to Canada with your family, and once you've come to Canada, you can settle and you can begin to to do was you can begin to apply for jobs, and you apply for jobs and you work with your family. And that's it. That brings us to the end of our video, moving to Canada using this process. This is beautiful. And guys, just stay with us, because very soon we're going to tell you about other process you can use to come to Canada as well, because this is what we are on: Canada, Canada, Canada. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in our next video. Remember to like, to subscribe, and to give us a thumbs up, because if you don't do so, YouTube will not recommend this video to people that need it, and there are many people that really need to know about this particular pathway. So thank you once more again, and bye for now.